Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to a new StarCraft II cast. And in the bottom left corner of Cloud Kingdom there is no man like him. Only him, it's Jaime of House Lannister, the KiNgSlAyEr. Spawning as the red Protoss in the bottom left corner, or his opponent rather, it's going to be me. Spawning as the blue Zerg. There we go. Oh man, I'm so funny. I'm so fucking funny. No, I'm actually not. Okay, here we go. It's going to be a Zerg versus Protoss on the map. Cloud Kingdom, as you might have already noticed. And of course, Zerg versus Protoss is an awesome matchup. It's probably my favorite matchup, as long as the Protoss player actually does a solid build order. Like, a lot of Protoss players actually at the moment especially are doing a lot of random crap. I don't really like that. I personally love playing macro games versus Protoss just because it's so much fun to play that kind of way. But most Protoss players actually on the ladder at least love going for like 2-gate aggression into like an expansion, or like 8-gate aggression into like nothing and putting up a lot of zealots and cannon rushing and whatnot. But as long as the Protoss player actually plays just a standard good game, I actually really enjoy the Zerg versus Protoss matchup. Probably because I actually win a lot of them, but you know, it's a cool matchup. Anyway, I'm going to open up fairly standard in this game. I'm going to open up with, of course, a 14 spawning pool, the most standard opener right now in Zerg vs Protoss, and I'm also going to try and get my hatchery down a little bit later at around 15 supply, maybe 16 if I feel lucky, but you know, in general, 15 supply is relatively good. And here we go, he's actually going to open up with a fort first. Most Protoss players right now will actually open up with a Nexus first. Nexus first, of course, is going to be the most standard of standard openers right now, followed up by a fort, followed up by a pylon, followed up by a gateway, then a cannon. But this guy apparently feels kind of scared. Jaime is a little bit scared of me, and turns out he is actually going to go for pylon, fort, cannon, pylon, and only just now the Nexus, I imagine actually. He's at 18 out of 18 supply right now, might continue his droning a little bit, or his probing a little bit more. But it shouldn't be that bad, however, he's playing it overly safe. Versus a really early spawning pool, this cannon would have probably been too late, so I don't really know why you would really do this, because probably would already be walking right here, or be already in his main base, or just simply walk past it, so I don't really know why you would go for such an early cannon. So Protoss players out there, if you actually listen to this, make your Nexus just first, followed up by a fort, followed up by a gateway and a pylon, and then go for your photon cannon, because versus 99% of the Zerg players right now, I don't really imagine you will need anything but that. So here we go. I actually am able to scout all of this with my overlord right here, so I know that he went for a really early cannon, and he's only just now getting his gateway. I will actually see that right now. Here I see his gateway going down, and what this will instantly mean for me is that everything he will be able to do will be delayed a lot, because think about it, when he gets this gateway up, he will also need the cybernetics core, and the cybernetics core can only be built after finishing the gateway, and of course after the cybernetics core you will be able to start your warp gate upgrade, you will be able to start stargates, robotics, all kinds of juicy stuff, and everything is already delayed by quite a lot. I don't really know exactly how much, but I feel relatively safe right now, especially after catching his probe. I actually did manage to catch it, already having an overlord right behind his third base right now, which will be able to check everything that's going on. I can check here, I can also fly it in his base if I feel like I need it. However, nothing weird is going on just yet. Getting a relatively early second gateway, however, so we will see how that works out. However, on my side of the map, I am playing completely standard as far as Zerg vs Protoss goes. I'm going to just inject with my queens, making one creep tumor right now, moving that to my third base, and I'm also starting a second queen, or a third queen rather, already in my natural, and just going to use that for droning and droning and droning. Actually going to get my Zerglings around the, or my gas guys around the 6-minute mark. I imagine I was a little bit late this game actually. Oh no, turns out I was in time, 5 minutes and 55 seconds or so. He's just being a little bit aggressive with a Zergling right now, or with a Zealot. I also see the second Zealot with my Overlord right now, so I make a bunch of Zerglings, making about 10 in total if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look at the unit tab. Yeah, I actually made 10 in total. Losing one, not the biggest of deals however. However, he also starts two, what are they called? Stalkers right now, which is relatively interesting. And he also starts, what is it called? The Stargate. It's a really interesting spot actually. Some Zerg players actually opt to get a Zerg already a Overlord right there, and that will be able to spot it. However, I do manage to get... Oh, actually... Oh my god, did I just... Okay, I just hit the back button. Phew, it's not that bad. Here we go, we are a little bit back into the game. But I'm actually going to be able to get a nice round on those Zealots, which is a pretty big deal. Actually getting 8 more Zerglings because I saw those Stalkers also moving out. However, does he actually already have an upgrade? No, he doesn't have an upgrade finish whatsoever. So there's really no reason he should have gotten that fort so early. However, I do manage to get a nice round right there on his Zealots, so this will weaken his push significantly. And right now I'm just going to start the Zergling speed upgrade. Going to just dance a little bit with his Stalkers, but I mostly want to be making drones. The big problem that a lot of Zerg players actually struggle with is just making too much stuff early on, and arguably I already made too much right now. However, Zerglings aren't the worst thing to make, especially when you go for a speedling instead of a lair first, which might make them a little bit more useful. However, I'm going to use my second 100 gas for the lair upgrade. I'm also going to get an evolution chamber and a roach horn. I actually forgot about my roach horn. I thought I made this around the 7-minute mark this game, but it turns out it was a little bit late. However, not the biggest of deals either. I'm just going to keep saturating all my bases right now, and I'm going to keep making more and more stuff. I also flew in an overlord right now to see what is going on, because I have absolutely no idea. And it turns out he's making a bunch of gateways right now, as well as upgrading his cybernetic score. However, I also noticed that he was still chrono boosting, and since he already got this gateway so late, he most likely isn't getting cybernetic score or the warp gate upgrade anytime soon, especially because he was only just now starting those gateways. So here I do realize that there's a void ray out as well. So what I'm going to do is actually start a spore crawler right here. Suppose a spore crawler in my natural as well as a spore crawler in my main. And here we go, I'm also flying all my overlords actually on top of that spore crawler. Going to most likely start my, yeah, there we go, a macro hatchery as well as the roach speed upgrade right now. And I'm going to also start more and more gas geysers right now. Going to actually saturate everything the best I can. And I might, there we go, also start a another queen, because queens are really good against defending this kind of stuff. Personally, I don't really like going for any kind of Hydralisk or whatever, because Hydralisk are kind of weird when it comes to void rays like that. However, I thought he would actually follow this up with a lot of gateway aggression as well, because, well, think about it, he made so many gateways. Why would you make so many if you're not going to use them to attack? So what I was doing instead was actually just going for a bunch of overlords as well as a bunch of roachling right now, because I thought he would be attacking. However, I am going to check with some Zergling into a third base, and I actually do realize that his third base is up right now. So what I will be able to do is actually apply a lot of pressure, because since he went for such a late cybernetic score, I also know that I will be able to actually do a lot of damage with my roachling army right now. Actually going to target fire his void ray right now, just keeping the injects up. My macro hatchery is about to be finished, and more overlords are being built as well. So I know that I will be able to just kill a lot of stuff using my army that I currently have. However, he did play a kind of a wacky, or how do you say that? A wacky style. There we go. He kind of played a wacky style, so I don't really know what he's up to, because he might be having a lot more stuff than I actually realize. However, I am just going to apply pressure with the army that I can, and I'm going to try and transition out of this if I feel like it's necessary. Already a lot of units from me running across the map right now, and since he is also spending so much money right now in his gateway or in his gateways and cannons and whatnot right now, I actually feel like I can do a lot of damage right here. Only one immortal right now being out, so not the biggest immortal count whatsoever. And as long as I will be able to kill off some stalkers right here, as well as the sentries, he's actually not paying attention, only just now throwing down force fields, but they were a little bit late. Already managed to pick off like 3 stalkers right now, and I'm going to try and target fire as many sentries as I can. I'm going to try and waste as much sentry energy as I can as well, and I'm going to try and just waste as much energy as possible while my reinforcements are coming in. This wasn't really my biggest push crash yet. As you can see, 30 more Zerglings on the production tab, as well as more and more roaches, as well as the +1 armor attack. So I'm just going to try and apply a little bit of pressure and maybe kill him if I'm able to. However, this isn't really all in for me, because if we take a look at the income tab, I actually do have more workers than him, so that's all good. But I do manage to get a nice round on his army right now, because I killed all those sentries early on. And what I'm going to do next is actually just target fire all the stuff that he has, split up my army a little bit, and actually use my Zerglings right now to kill all of his probes as much as I can. Actually making a little bit of a mistake right here, funneling into the zealots, but I do realize that I am able to push all the stalkers back, because his blink upgrade isn't finished just yet. So here we go, I'm just going to apply more and more pressure, moving back those weakened stalkers, or moving back all those weakened roaches, just moving them all around the place. And what I'm going to do next is actually target fire the pylons, because the pylons are the other thing that are really important for him right now. But I am able to actually pick off a lot of stuff right there. Already his third base went down, so I know I am ahead right now. But if I'm able to kill him right now, really, why not kill him, right? So here we go. I am going to try and push into his main base right now, or into his natural right now, and walk a few Zerglings into his main if I'm able to. However, I have a lot of stuff right now, and I probably need to push back for just a little tiny bit. Just mess up some more units. As you can see, 11 drones on the production tab right now, so I know I did enough damage trying to pick off some more gateways right here. His third base is already down, and the one thing that he could do right now is actually go for a base once again. Here we go. I actually see him throwing up another Nexus right now, and I am not able to kill his, so I know what he's up to. He will most likely go for some more Nexus kind of play. So what I do, after getting back home, after making that big round of drones, after starting more gas geysers, I actually just decide to start more and more roaches and links and just try a snipe off that base once again, and actually do manage to catch him out of position right now. His units are all across the map, and I will be able to actually cancel this third base most likely, and actually does move back with his army right now. He realizes that I saw his base going up, and he does realize that I moved all my army back into his third, and there we go. I actually have a lot of stuff incoming right now, and I also realize his army is kind of spread out. He's spread out in a thin line across the map, which is kind of a bad thing, especially when you don't have any sentries to support your army, throw down any force fields and whatnot. And I do manage to target fire all those immortals, and the immortals are, of course, the thing that dealt a lot of damage in this game. But here we go. I actually also managed to get a nice surround on his stalkers right now, and even though the blink upgrade is done right now, he actually does have a cooldown on that, of course, so he doesn't manage to get all the stuff that I have. However, I'm going to just target fire the forts right now. The forts are going to be the one thing that might be getting him back into the game. But here we go. The immortal is once again out of position. I do manage to snipe that with a bunch of Zerglings and a bunch of links, and he GG's out. So Jaime Lannister, the KiNgSlAyEr, has been slain by me. I want to thank you guys all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I see you again hopefully. Bye!